In Pittsburgh, the issue isn't do we have a starting quarterback? The issue is we have two of them, and what are we going to do? Because one of them has been playing pretty well in the absence of the one who was supposed to be the starter. Here is Mike Tomlin from yesterday. He does his midweek press conference every Tuesday, talking about the situation with Justin Fields, who started both games and won both games, and Russell Wilson, who was supposed to be QB1 and had that calf aggravation and has yet to play in a regular season game for the Steelers.
Did Justin do enough to earn the starting job outright?
Again, I'm not talking hypotheticals. We've got one of those two guys available to us as I stand here today, so it is a waste of my time to speculate in hypotheticals and all of that. Justin's got a game to get ready for this week, and so I'm not doing him any justice by talking hypothetical. I want him focused. I'm focused on the next task, and until Russell gets to a state of readiness where he's a consideration, I won't be speculating on any of that in any way.
You know, it's a very Mike Tomlin way of invoking the 100% rule. And that's really where they are.
Right.
And this is the best of both worlds for the Steelers because they can ride Justin Fields for as long as it's working. And the moment it's not, Russell Wilson's 100%. And at some point, it reminds me of the 98 Vikings where Brad Johnson broke his leg week 2. Randall Cunningham comes in better than he ever was, or at least as good as he ever was after he'd been out of football for a year. And Denny Green started talking about the 100% rule. And at some point, we just forgot about the 100% rule because they were winning every week. And that's kind of what could happen with the Steelers. Justin Fields keeps going, and it just gets to the point where we all accept the fact that he's the guy. And it is no longer about when is Russell Wilson going to be 100%? Justin Fields is just the guy. And we still got a way to go, but so far so good. And I feel like that's what the Steelers are slowly settling into if they can keep this going.
Mike, excellent point. And you know what? They may be there now. They may already be there with Justin Fields. Not that he has been lights out so far in the year, but I mean, this is a Pittsburgh thing. This is why we keep talking about Mike Tomlin, and can you believe he hasn't had a losing record yet in his career? They just focus on wins as they should. Doesn't matter how pretty they are, they focus on wins. So if Justin Fields gets another win, and the Steelers, who, I did not have them starting the season 3-0, even with what you could call a soft schedule. If they start the season 3-0, with Justin Fields as your quarterback, then you just kind of go back and say, hey, it's Russ's job. It's not like he won the job convincingly anyway. He won the job because he's got more. He won the job because of his resume, honestly. He's got more experience. He's got more credentials than Justin Fields. But if you just look at both of these guys and say, who's the better quarterback, it's probably 50-50. Half the crowd says that guy, half the crowd says him. But the guy who's playing and continues to win, he may have a grip on the job already, but Mike Tomlin is too smart to say it right now.
The competition, I believe, ended up being closer than they expected it to be. I believe the Steelers envision Fields as the guy who better fits what they're trying to do offensively now and in the future. I think the goal was, and I think at a certain level there's, I don't want to say loyalty because the relationship is too new, but it's just a matter of basic fairness. And I think Mike Tomlin at his core is very fair. And you don't get very far in life in any job if you're not fair to the people you work with and who work for you. But Russell Wilson was the first guy in. Russell Wilson took $1.21 million and stuck the Broncos with the balance of his $38 million guaranteed salary. And then the Steelers, boom, they stumble into the Justin Fields trade for peanuts from the Bears. But Wilson was the guy who came here not realizing that there might be another starting quarterback who comes through the door. So in deference to his accomplishments, his experience, his skills, he's the guy. And that's where it becomes a little awkward. Because at the end of the day, and I said this back in March, Michael, when Wilson signed for $1.21 million. The problem is, if you're not the starter, why would they trade you? Because that may be the thing that comes up next. I always keep an eye on the Russell Wilson PR machine, and I would advise against him activating it because Mike Tomlin will shut that down immediately if he has any whiff that some of the stuff we saw last year that came out about the benching and the threat that they were going to bench him if he didn't renegotiate his contract, all that stuff that got ugly late in the season. If that PR cycle ever starts to spin against the Steelers, that's going to be an ugly day in Pittsburgh when Mike Tomlin approaches Russell Wilson about that. But the problem is, why would the Steelers move on from him? Justin Fields has an injury history. You got a backup quarterback, a veteran Super Bowl winner who you have under contract for $1.2 million. They're not letting him go. They may decide Justin's our guy, but we're not letting Russell go. He stays because we never know when we're going to need him. We're one play away from needing him, and we need both of these guys if we want the team to be as good as it can be this year. So I'm with you. They may have already gotten to the point where they're going to ride with Justin Fields, but they're not going to move on from Russell Wilson. He may be thinking, hey, maybe there's a place, maybe I could be traded to Miami. No. You're still here. Justin's here,
right.
And we're going to keep both guys around all year long. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.